Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I am wearing the same thing I was wearing in the last video because I decided to film two videos in the same day. So basically, this video is just about my brow routine and how I do my brows. I definitely don't think my brows are the most amazing thing on the planet, but they definitely work for me, and it took me a long time to get them where I feel comfortable with them. Yeah, I had a lot of people requesting over probably a year now for me to show them how I do my brows, but yeah, I just decided to go ahead and film this for you guys, and I really hope you enjoy it. And let's just get right into the video. If there's anything else that you guys want to see from me, please leave a comment below and let me know what you guys want to see next. I will list all the products that I used on my brows in the description bar down below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel, and please share this video with any other brow loving person that you know. That's it. Yeah, I don't know really to go from there. Alright, well, I have nothing else to say, so like I always say, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy this video. So, I don't typically do a lot on my brows. I just kind of do the bare minimum. I've used literally several different products on my brows. I tried the brow powders, I've tried pencils, I've tried the pomade by Anastasia. So far the only things that have really worked for me are the pomade and the Brow Wiz, which is what I use now. So it's just the Anastasia Brow Wiz. Let's see if I can get that to focus on that. If it's not focusing, I'm so sorry. Anyways, so yeah, that's what I've been using now, and then just a brow powder to fill in my brows. So I outline with my Brow Wiz, and then I fill in my actual brows with the brow powder, which I just use Mystery, if you can see that. It's called Mystery, and it's a MAC shadow. This is what I used to always just use on my brows. And I loved it then, I still love it now, but I love more so to use the Brow Wiz and the brow powder, which is just what works for me. So as you can see, I've already done my foundation and everything off camera. We are just gonna hop in and do the brows right now, and I just want to say quickly, I don't have typical brows. I overpluck them. I completely ruin the hair follicles on my brows, so they are just totally sparse, and just like I'm still trying to grow the hair in, and I'm missing hair in certain places. So I would just say I do brows that are for girls who don't already have those perfect brows, and you know what I'm talking about, the girls who have like the perfect hair, like all they need is just like a little bit of powder or like a little bit of the Brow Wiz, and they're like good to go. Me, it's like I gotta completely reshape these suckers. I really got to like spend my time on them, make sure they look perfect, because they just are shit show right now. Like I completely ruined them. If you are a young girl watching this and you are just getting out to, starting to do stuff with eyebrows, do not overpluck your eyebrows. Listen to your mom. I should have listened to mine. She told me, don't overpluck your eyebrows. You're going to ruin them. And I remember I went to school one day after, so I had let her pluck them. She just did the underneath. She always told me never pluck on the top. And I went to school, and I was like, just like walking around, filming myself. And these girls were like, oh my god, did you pluck your eyebrows? And I was like, yes, I totally did. And they were like, oh, they're still kind of bushy, blah, blah, blah. And I completely was just like, well, I thought they was, popping, but whatever, okay, cool. And, so I went home, and I asked my mom if she could make them a little thinner, and she was like, you don't need them thinner. She's like, they're perfectly fine. Don't even go there. I was like, you know what, fine, I'll just wait till she goes to bed and I'll do it myself. And I completely tweezed the crap out of them. They were horrible. They were so thin, and I wanted to bawl my eyes out. That's why this one is clear over here and this one's like right where it should be, or vice versa. This one's like, I don't know which one it is, but one of them is like way too in. So it was ridiculous. Not to mention, I had a friend in high school who was helping me one day with my brows. She was helping me shave them, Jessie, and shaved off a little bit more of my brows, and so that was fun. Yeah, so I blame her too. What I do first is I just brush all the hair up. They might need a trim, but I don't really feel like trimming them right now. I just plucked them yesterday, so I'm hoping they look okay. Sorry if I keep looking at the back of the camera. I'm just trying to make sure I'm in range or in frame. So you're gonna start at 3 points. So you always want your brows to start here, be arched across the iris here, and end where your eye ends there. So always remember those 3 points. You can mark them if you do. If you want to, you can use like a white eyeliner pencil. I've seen that before. I just kind of remember, and I always just kind of use my brush, and I'll just like do a little dot right there so I know where it starts. And then I just start in from there. So how I do these, just want to make sure that I'm in frame. Okay, so you're gonna start here and bring that line. And you always want to use a light hand. You never want to like go in because they're gonna look so harsh. And just kind of draw, this is how I do it. And just draw a line up to that arch. And just softly stop right there. So I usually will just kind of clean up on the way as I go, but I'll show you how to clean them up after with concealer. And so yeah, I just take that soft little line. And then just bring that line up to the arch. And then just guide it through the lining of your eyebrow, that eyebrow hair. And then just lightly extend that line down to where I told you to stop where your eye is. And if you mess up, it's okay. We can clean it up later with concealer, but just bring it down a little bit so that you get that nice shape of your brow. That's where I like them to end at. It's just right there. So you have that first line going. Kind of looking like a cholo brow right now. All right. And then, so after I do that, I always just, out of habit, shade or fill in right there. Shade in a little right there.
Shade, I sound like Herbert the pervert. I'm like, shade in a little around there.
So then you're just going to brush down the hair. Just so you can, so I brush it up to see a clear line of how I do or how I want to shape them. And then I'll brush it down to make sure I still have a clear line of the top and how I want to do it. So I'll just take that brow wiz, and you always want to start like mid-in on the top. So just like right about there is where you want to start. So I take my pencil and just kind of go in, like I said, lightly. You always want to hold back so that you don't have such a harsh hand. So if you are holding it like this, it'll feel a lot better. So I hold back a little and then just gently glide it across the top. And just keep taking that line up to the arch. Take it up a little bit where that arch is going to be. And just follow. I mean, you're going to see, even if your brows are completely over tweezed, you're still going to kind of see that natural arch of your eyebrow, and it'll help you kind of guide to where it needs to be. Continue building that arch and bring that line down to the other line you just drew, and then just connect the two. And now we have the outline of our brow. So, a sparse little hairbrow. So then I just take all the hair and just brush it right back through. And I'm so sorry for this ugly ass hair. I never have cute hair. Like, I really don't. Ever since I became a mom, like, my hair is just like a hot mess at all times. So just so you know, it's like a kind of ponytail I tried to do, and it just didn't really work out well. So yeah. So next we're going to take the other brow and just do the exact same thing. So I'm just going to fast forward through that for you. So just like the other brow, you're just going to take that line and fill underneath the brow and just extend it down to where the other one sort of kind of ended. You're definitely never going to get your brows to look like twins. They're always called sisters because they're going to look similar, but they're not going to be the exact same. But yeah, just try your best to get everything looking similar. Okay, so now we have both. So if you're like me and you kind of don't like the harsh lines, you can take the little spoolie on the end of this and just kind of take it over and just kind of rub through the line on the top. So the bottom one I kind of like to be a little sharper. The top one not so much because I feel like it makes me look angry. So I just take my brush and kind of smooth over it so that it's not as harsh. Like I said, it's your brows, do it how you want. So now that we have those two shapes going on, what I do before I finish the front of the brows is I take that brow powder and I just take an angled brush like that. And fill in my brows. So I just get some powder on there, and then I just tap off the excess powder, and then I just go in and just start shading in the brows. And then you're just going to do this on both brows. Just shade, shade, shade. And then when you're done, continue shading. And even after that, shade a little bit more. Shading is never done. Never. Never. While I'm shading, I just kind of take this little spoolie and just kind of blend in that powder just so it looks even all through the brow. And I shade everything but the front of my brows because I'm going to show you how I finish off the front of my brows since I have no hair. And just make sure you are tapping off the excess product from your brush. If you go to the brow to shade it with too much product on, you're going to end up with a lot of fallout on your cheekbones, and it's not cute. Okay, so now that we've gotten both brows shaded in with powder, almost, hold on. Now we're going to go in with the front of the brows. The front of the brows are super important because they can make or break your brow. If you do them too dark, they look a little too angry. And if you don't get them just right, then they just kind of mess up everything you just did. And it's kind of hard to erase them and then put them back on. So I always try to make sure I get this down the first try.
God, this looks so funny. If there's any guys watching this, I'm so sorry if you thought my brows were like perfect before, because they so weren't.
Okay, so now we're gonna go in. So what I do is a little different than what other people do. I kind of almost mimic the hairs and draw them in because, like I said, I don't have any hair there. I'm still in the process of growing. I'm in the process of growing that hair out, so it looks really funny right now. So I always start off with, like I said, a gentle hand. Not my strong hand. Alright, and I just start drawing little hairs. I can't talk while I do this, so just kind of watch what I do, and then we'll just kind of go through it. So you're going to want to take your brow wiz and just softly try to make little hair-like lines. You never want to do them straight up because that's not how your hair grows. You always want to do them kind of at a slant and kind of a little sparse, but still very clean just to make it look super natural. A little glam natural brow, just beautifully shaped and blended. Okay, so there's one brow. And then I just kind of take my spoolie and just kind of brush over it and just soften it up a smidge. And now on to the next brow. So like I said, just keep creating those little hair-like lines and just make sure you're blending them in with the rest of the brows so they don't look too crazy or too harsh. And take your time, guys. Honestly, this doesn't need to be a quick process unless you're in like a really big hurry, but just take your time, and I promise they will turn out just like you want them to. It just takes patience. So I almost always still have to clean up my brows. It's very rare that I'm just like, cool, these are good. I don't gotta do anything more. But I always take a mirror just to make sure. I just hold it up like that and just make sure that everything is even. And so far, everything looks kind of even. Sometimes I will just take a little bit more. Just go in. And like I said, I'll show you how to clean it up with concealer afterwards. But yeah. Sometimes I'll go through and still kind of do the brow wiz through my eyebrows just in case the powder didn't really get a lot or didn't fill them in as much as I wanted to. So yeah. So I'm pretty happy with how the front of my brows turned out. I just want to clean them up a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll take my concealer. So we're going to do this one.
I just take a smidge and dab it on the top of my finger.
And then some people use angled brushes. This one's just been my go-to ever since I've just gotten it. It's a Morphe brush, and this is the tip. So the brushes that I have that don't have numbers, they came in a brush set that I got from Morphe, and I'll link that down below in my description bar so that you guys can check it out. It was really affordable, and I love the brushes. Every brush that came in that is amazing. Then you'll just take that brush and dab it in the concealer, and then take it to your brow and just clean up any imperfections that you missed while cleaning up with your finger. And just make sure you are not erasing what you just did with this concealer, because I do that so oftenly.
And then, like I said, just take my finger and just clean up that concealer so it's not all globular looking. I don't even know if globular is a word. But globular is globular. I'm putting enough concealer so I need a little bit more. Does anybody else feel like brows are just like, oh, there's so much more? And it's so weird because when you were younger, you totally didn't give a shit about brows. And now it's like, if you don't have good brows, you are failing at freaking life. Like, I swear to God. Girls, that's the first thing they notice when you walk in there is your brows. And they're just like, and you're just like, oh.
And like I said, I don't feel like my brows are like amazing or like anything, but there's so many girls at work that always tell me like, oh my God, your eyebrows are so on fleek. And I'm like, really? Thanks. Took me a long time to get here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Now just go ahead and take some more concealer and clean up that second brow and do the exact same thing that you did to the first one. So I just decided to talk over this part because my daughter was being a nightmare. Basically what I was saying at this point is just make sure the handle of your makeup brush is clean, because for this next step we're going to be cleaning up the front of the brows, and you're using your brush just to kind of measure where you want your brow to start. But basically you'll just take the top of the brush, set it down, and pull the concealer down into the front of your brow to help clean it up. Hopefully that makes sense. And at this point, my camera died, so I had to completely start over. Well, not completely start over, but just start over from where I left off. And basically at this point, I'm just doing what I did to the first brow, taking the concealer and just pressing it at the top of my brow and just bringing it down to go ahead and clean it. I just use my brush as a measuring tool of where I want my brows to start, and I just kind of press down that brush and bring down the concealer like I said. Then what I do is just take my fingers and blend it in. And just bring that in right there. So they're never going to be perfectly shaped, but I think that's what makes them look so natural, is when they're not perfectly like chiseled into this like square cut brow or whatever, you know? I feel like that's what makes them look most realistic. So yeah, I think that is about it. That is my brow routine, guys. And I hope to see you guys try out, you know, my brow routine. If you guys do it and you guys want to show me, tag me on Instagram or Facebook or whatever and show me how you did your brows. Please be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to finish the rest of my look off camera for the day. I'm not going to do anything crazy because I am just sitting at home cleaning. But yeah, I'm just going to finish my look for the day, and thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. Mwah.
What's the matter? Did you lose something? Done it. Hi. Creep. Okay. A. Rowan, say A. A. She knows the camera's on. Say A. Alright, whatever. Don't show people your talents. It's okay. There we go. A. Say I love you. Oh, you said it.